Friends, my name is Mrs. Winecoop. I am your librarian, and I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about how you can get books this year. First of all, we are going to continue with something we call Eagle Staff Prime. When we're in building, that means free delivery every day. While we're in a 100% remote model, that means that we will be offering curbside pickup every week on Wednesdays from 11 to 1 o'clock and on Thursdays from 4 to 6 o'clock in the early evening. We'll have teachers on hand and I'll be there, and our hope is that you can use this time to make sure that you always have the book you're reading now and the book you're reading next, and that you are never left without something that you'd love to read. At the Eagle Staff Library and in our language arts departments here, we really truly believe that your independent reading life is the foundation for just about everything else you do at school. So our goal is to make sure that everyone has a book they love to read all the time. For some of you, that's going to seem like an impossible task, and I don't disagree that some of us have a harder time than others finding something we actually love to read. But at Eagle Staff, we have a really great collection. It was started 3 years ago. Being a new school is still something that's a very exciting, because it means that our books are still very new and we add thousands of books every year, and we offer lots of copies, so that if you're waiting for the newest copy of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel to the Hunger Games series, we have lots of copies. If you're excited to read the newest Nick Stone or Jason Reynolds, we have copies. So I want to take a few minutes to talk to you and tell you about how you can place holds for curbside pickup and delivery. First of all, just a reminder that curbside will be from 11 to 1 on Wednesdays and from 4 to 6 on Thursdays. And the idea here is that you can do two things. You can place holds. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. You can place holds and pick those books up during that time. Or two, if for some reason you are absolutely unable to get to school, we will arrange for delivery so that we can ensure you have those books available to you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I want to show you how you will be placing holds as a student at Eagle Staff. So I'm going to start with this screen here, and you will start at seattleschools.org. This is essentially the same place that you will be going to get to your student portal. So we're going to start here in the blue box with the pencil that says Student and Family Portals. And when you click on that, you can browse down, and there's a lot of ways to get to the library, but the most frequent place you're going to end up starting your day is in the Clever Student Portal. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Clever Student Portal. And when I do that, it looks like I have a library option here. That is not the same thing as our library. So I want you to browse down under SPS Tools in the Clever portal. You'll see Library Catalog. Now for me, I love the library. So I'm going to click on that little heart, and when I do that, it brings this piece all the way up to the top. This is one of my favorites. So it's brought it up into my favorites. Now I have that there. You can always move your favorites. If Typing Club's not a fave of mine, I can unclick that heart and I can move it up. You can move Schoology up as well. You can move Office 365 up as well. So you have some options there for how you're going to arrange your favorites. Now I need to click on Library Catalog in order to go in and choose my school. Most likely, the first time you do this, you're going to get a screen that looks like this. You just need to go in, browse down, and find Washington. And all you need to type in is the word Robert. We are the first school that shows up, Robert Eagle Staff Middle School, Seattle, Washington. Once you've done that, you can click Go. So this is Destiny Discover. This is our library's catalog. This is where you can go to search for things. This is where you can place holds. This is where you can look at what are the most frequently checked out titles. These popular titles are some of the most frequently circulated books in our library. You can also see that down here, I've started to build, these are our genres. At Eagle Staff, our library, our fiction is arranged in 16 different genres. I have a few more to add, but I wanted to make sure you had this information now, and I'll be done adding the rest of the topics shortly. The idea here is that you have a few different ways you can search. One, you can use the search box at the top here. I'm going to recommend something though before we do any searching. If your plan is to look for books and put them on hold, I want you to start by using the login in the top right-hand corner. That login will allow you to very easily place holds. Now for you, your login is your username and your password, and you click submit. For me, that would be 1RL Winecoop and my password. Yours will be specific to you. So now that I'm in the catalog, you can see if I click up on my name up here, we know that it's me. This will show your name after you've logged in. And once I'm in, I have a couple of ways I can look for books. If you're a browser, you might want to just click See All and see a number of the new books that we have recently added to our library. You can see they're here. I mentioned earlier that our books are arranged by genre, and the sublocation is the genre that that book falls under. You can see that here. If I continue to browse down, I can do that until I find something that I want. If I want to learn more about that item, I can click on the title, and it will take me to this screen where I can read a summary. Sometimes students have posted reviews. You can look and see how many copies do we have and if they're available. And then if you really wanted to, you can place a hold. To place a hold, you've already logged in, so you click hold, and then it tells you Golden Arm is now on hold. You will be notified when it's ready. Now at Eagle Staff, and especially considering the fact that we're learning in a 100% remote model, you can place up to 20 holds. The idea here is that I realize sometimes, I'm going to go ahead really quickly and go back to my front page. Sometimes the book you want isn't available. For example, if you look down this book here, The Last 8, the corner tells me this book is checked out. It doesn't mean I can't place it on hold. If it's a book I want to read, place it on hold, and as soon as it's available, you could pick it up at curbside. The other thing you can do is you could browse some of the popular titles if you're the person who likes to browse a library, and you could look for books that you wanted to check out that way. Let me go ahead and go back. And then I talked to you about these topics or these genres. I'm going to go ahead and click on humor. We have a section in our library that's just books that in general fall under a humor category. Then it gives you every book in our library that is in that section, books that are humorous. And you can browse through all of those books. And it's just going to keep going. You can also come over and you could then, if you wanted, maybe you wanted a specific author and you knew that author's name started with a P, you could click on PQRS. It's going to pull up all of those authors' names, and then you could limit your search based upon an author's name. Say I wanted Gary Paulson, for example, and now it's going to limit my search. So there's lots of ways that you can continue to browse through our catalog. I'm going to go ahead and click. If you ever get so lost you can't figure out where you are, this top left-hand corner where it says Destiny Discover, you can just click on that button and it takes you right back. The other thing I want to show you is you can, so we talked about browsing. either through the most popular titles, the recently added books, or through our genres. The other thing you can do is just run a search. Maybe you have a specific book that you were looking for. For me, one of the books I loved reading this summer was called Dragon Hoops. And I found Dragon Hoops. I want to make sure this is the book I want. So I'm going to click on the title. And I learned that this is indeed a book that is a graphic novel. And it's about this teacher down in California who didn't like sports at all. And one year he decided he wanted to write a book. And so he thought he'd follow this basketball team. True story. Followed this basketball team. And Dragon Hoops is about his journey that year and following this basketball team to the California State Championship. So if I've decided I want to place a hold on it, it does say the book is checked out right now, but I can still place that hold so that as soon as it's available, I get a copy of that and I can pick it up at curbside, or I can have it delivered to my house if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. That was one way we could search for a book. We could just search for a specific title or a specific author. The other thing you can do is, this summer I had a student who clearly was just searching by keyword. They're like, I want to learn about stars. And I found that it was a really interesting collection of books because in our library, we have a lot of books that are about stars, but we also have books that contain the title, the word in the title, stars. So you have lots of different ways that you can look for books. You can sort by availability. If you only want books that are available and in, that's fine. You have a couple of options. You can search by genre. Again, we talked about that earlier. We don't have a lot of students that are adding ratings, but I think that now that we're 100% remote, you might find more books with ratings. You can also search for the number of pages, right? Let's say you're someone who only wants really big books. You can say, I want my book to have 350 to 1,500 pages. And then I can search for that. You notice it didn't change my total number to 1,500. That's because in this particular search that I have going, there isn't a book that has more than 850 pages. So if you were in maybe our fantasy and magic series and you were looking for Harry Potter, you could increase that number because we know it has more than that. So the last thing that I want to show you, again, if you can clear all, if you kind of get too far into this and it's not working for you, head back to Destiny Discover. The last thing I want to show you is ebooks and audiobooks. We'll talk another day about our Library Link program with Seattle Public Library and Libby. Many of our 7th and 8th graders this year already know about that. But our library does have some ebooks and audiobooks that are available and ready for you, and you can access those here. You can click See All. You can then see if they're available, open, check out. You can look at these books. The other thing you can do is browse our audiobooks, and they are there as well. Just so that you know they're there. Okay, so we've covered a couple of things. We start on seattleschools.org at the Student Family Portal. We click on Clever, the student portal. Takes me to Clever, where I can make my favorites show up at the top. You can also reorder those. So if library is your number 1, it's my number 1. Schoology is my number 2. Office 365, The Source. If those are the orders in which I'm going to be using them, I can move them up there. We have lots of other options that we'll get to later, but for today, I just wanted to show you Destiny Discover. Once you get there, right, remember you can click on Library Catalog and it will take you to Destiny Discover, where you want to be sure you click Log in the top right-hand corner so that you can place holds. In addition, you can always come back to Destiny Discover. You can look at what books you have checked out. You can look at what books you have on hold. You can see there are my holds so far. It will tell me what's ready and what I'm waiting for. So you have a lot of options within Destiny Discover to really make sure that you have the books you want and the books you need, so that you're prepared for class every day, so that as a reader, you feel like you always have something waiting for you. And we're so excited to begin the school year with all of you. And I can't wait to spend a little bit more time with you. I will see you all when we are in language arts class. We will be offering our curbside again Wednesdays from 11 to 1 and Thursdays from 4 to 6. In addition, the library offers some makers hours where we do things like make stuff out of things you might just have at home. We do some baking and some cooking. We are going to do trivia throughout the year and have lots of opportunities for book clubs. And I just wanted to start today by saying hello. I'm so excited to see you. I'm thrilled that we get to continue to make this library your library and really support your life as an independent reader and help you find the things you love. Thanks so much. Again, my name is Mrs. Weinkoop. Now would be a really great time to pause, go log in, and place at least 2 holds. What 2 books do you think you would want to start with this year? Let's go, Ravens readers. Have a great day. Bye-bye.